What was that? Welcome back to the Black and Yellow Podcast, where we discuss all things Pittsburgh Steelers. It is episode 3, and in this episode, we are going to be talking about the Steelers-Ravens wild card post game. Let's just start off with that was embarrassing. As a Steelers fan, having to go out into public, to hockey, to lacrosse, to school, wherever, around other people who have constantly said that this Steelers team is trash, and I said otherwise. I advocated for them, that I thought that they were a decent team, and they just go out and prove me wrong and just drop a stinker on Saturday night. Like, it's just so embarrassing. Like, 21-0 going into half. How do you score no points? This Baltimore defense is good, but they're not that good. Like, I appreciate some of the play calls. I think they were better. I liked Arthur Smith's his playbook. But just like so many stupid decisions. Like, going into the game, they're like, oh, we're going to play Justin Fields more. He's going to get a bunch of snaps. He got like 2 or 3 snaps at most. The third snap of the game, where he handed the ball off to Warren, and I think they got maybe 2 or 3. Which works. They put him in on first down or second down and long, to throw the ball, and he rolls out to his right. Nothing there. Pressure goes on, and he has to throw it away. If you're gonna throw the ball, you have Russell Wilson. I don't get it. Russell Wilson didn't play terrible. I think he missed a lot of reads over the middle. I think he missed. But like, his stats are decent. Like, he was 20 for 29. He didn't throw many incompletions. 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 rushing attempts for 6 yards. So, I don't know. I'm gonna try not to talk too much about what to be expected in the offseason, because I'm gonna go over that in my next video, which should be uploaded later this evening. I'm gonna try to get 2 out today. At least we weren't the only ones to get their butt spanked. I'm sitting here just the start of the second half of the Eagles and Packers, and so far the Packers are playing like crap. Their defense is keeping them in this game, but man, their offense looks terrible. Like, Jordan Love, at least 2 interceptions so far. I haven't watched a whole bunch of it, but at least 2 interceptions. So, like, at least we're not the only ones to go out and drop a big stinker. But man, our defense was crap in the first half. That the first touchdown by I think it was Bateman. Yeah, it was Bateman on the 3rd down and 13. We have Alex Highsmith, Cameron Hayward, T.J. Watt, Larry Ogunjobi, Keanu Benton, all these guys on the field for that play. Some of the most expensive, one of, if not the most expensive defensive lines. In theory, should be one of the most dominant defensive lines. Can't even get close to him. Can't even get close to him. Like, Lamar Jackson had like 7 seconds to throw that ball. And Dante Jackson missed his assignment. I don't understand why Corey Trice was benched over someone like Pierre. Keep Jackson there. Keep Dante Jackson in the lineup. But I think when I found out right before the game started that Corey Trice was a healthy scratch, I was shocked. I think that was a bad decision. Another bad personnel decision by Mike Tomlin. I don't mind them giving the helmet to Jeremiah Moon instead of Preston Smith because of some of Moon's special team abilities and our edges already being really good. They weren't really good last night, but historically being really good. So I don't mind that, but yeah, I put Corey Trice in that game. I like just to not even dress him is just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I just don't get it. There were no turnovers in this whole game, which came to a bit of a surprise to me. I thought there were going to be a few turnovers. But no fumbles, no picks for Russell Wilson or for anyone on the Steelers for that matter. Pickens finally had a good game. 5 receptions, 87 yards, and a touchdown. I'm happy with that. I'm definitely happy with that. He looked like he wanted the ball. Instead of not wanting the ball and not putting in the effort and dropping the ball and everything, he looked like one of if not the best player on our team last night. Pat Freiermuth was awful. 3 receptions for 15 yards. But just like the start of the game, right in his hands, just drops it. Couple drives later, 3rd down and manageable. He runs his route short, doesn't know where the sticks are, and catches the ball about a yard or two short and can't reach out and get it. But then regardless of all that, 4th down and inches, at this point, you're down a couple, I'm pretty sure it was a couple scores at that time. And, like, why aren't you giving the ball to Justin Fields and going for it? Or even if you don't want to give it to Fields, give it to Wilson, let him throw a very similar route. Because chances are you'll get it on 4th down and inches. Like, you need to be more aggressive in those situations. Van Jefferson with a really nice touchdown grab. I still don't like Van Jefferson, but he certainly wasn't our worst player last night. Mike Williams again, only one reception. Van Jefferson being on the field much more than him. I don't understand why they got him. I love that they got him, but why would you trade a 5th-round pick for him if you weren't even going to use him? I don't know. First it was, oh, he doesn't know the playbook. But like, what's your excuse now? Why did you just stop playing him? They even stop playing him. Why did you just decide not, why did you not start playing him? It's like, our running offense was terrible. At least they didn't. Najee Harris didn't have 25 attempts. They only handed off the ball to him twice for 17 yards. Harris 6 times for 17 yards. Warren twice for 6 yards. Wilson had 3 attempts for 6 yards. I did not like how much Wilson was running last night. I think Wilson held on to the ball for too long. He had a couple times where he could have thrown it to his dynamic receiver in George Pickens, and worst case scenario, the defensive back makes a nice play and bats it down. But as long as he puts it someone on the money, I don't think that defensive back is going to try to pick it off, because if you try to pick it off, then it just runs the risk of of him catching the ball. So I think you would have been more than fine just throwing him the ball on a couple times. But there was a couple times where he either threw the ball away or he tried running when George Pickens wasn't a clear wide open, but he was open enough that he most likely would have had a decent chance of coming down with that ball. So I honestly don't know what to expect out of this offseason. In my next video, I'll explain what I think they should do, and then I'll say what I think they will do, because it is very different, sadly very different. But Landon Roberts with 14 tackles, Patrick Queen with 10 tackles, Cameron Hayward with 10 tackles. That just shows you how much this team was running, how much this Ravens team was running the ball. Only 1 sack all game. Credited to Highsmith. To be honest, everyone got there, but still only 1 sack all game, whereas the Ravens had 4 sacks on this abysmal offensive line. Now, one thing I'll say is Dan Moore Jr. did leave the game in the second or third quarter with some type of injury, which is kind of understandable that Spencer Anderson didn't quite get the job done, but he certainly wasn't our worst guy out there. There were other guys getting beat too, so I don't think he was a standout. I don't think he was a standout liability. I think it could have been a little bit closer, just because of the couple things that happened in the game. Late in the second quarter, there was a attempted deep ball to Pickens, which was caught, but he was flagged for a phantom push-off. Some people think that is a penalty. I personally don't. It was a great sell job by the corner from whoever it was from Baltimore. But that would have put us inside the 10. Most likely, can't say for sure with our abysmal red zone defense, but most likely would have resulted in a touchdown. And then that would have left a lot less time. Probably not quite enough time for Baltimore to go down and score that touchdown at the end of the half. So instead of it being 20-0, it would have been 14-7. So that would have made it. If those two plays had happened, then the final score, instead of 28-14, it would have been 21-21. And then most likely, since Baltimore had the ball last, they probably would have gone down and scored. But at least you can look at it and say it was a one-score game that came right down to the wire. You can feel a lot better about that game. But sadly, you can't control everything. Some refs are going to make some bad calls. And I think one call might have changed the game, but it wouldn't have changed the game that drastically. So there's not much else to talk about. There's no other games coming up, so I'm not even gonna bother mentioning how they can improve. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say goodbye here. Post this one and then get into a bit of an off-season preview / prediction. So keep an eye out for that one. That will be much more interesting than this video, in my opinion. That's it. Adios, amigos. See you soon.